The Dungeons & Dragons collectible minifigure series is out, and that can only mean one thing. It's party time! Let's do this! Join us on the quest of a lifetime as we travel through this land of LEGO and list off possible customization ideas along the way. Oh yeah, that skeleton right there, ignore him, it's just Noah. He couldn't make it this time around. Noah did, however, provide us with a list of his ideas, so let the quest begin. Starting off, we have the Elf Bard.
You could use the Elf Bard's hair for Rain Whispers from the Owl House, or better yet, Hunter.
I think the hair could be used for the Green Lantern Arisia from DC Comics. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, I could see this piece being used for both Marvel Boy and Quicksilver customs from Marvel Comics. I guess you could even use the head for the previous two ideas as well. And then also Soul from the Acolyte. Now, something special about this series is the fact that on several of the figures, you can decide on either male or female versions. So, for the female print, I was thinking Emma Frost from Marvel and also Queen Frostine from Candyland.
Speaking of X-Men characters, Noah had Dazzler for the head, and you could use the scarf for Greninja.
That's actually really good. The scarf is a bit bright, but people are going to be using this piece for No Way Home Green Goblin. It could also be used for Hypnotic from DC, or possibly even Mysterio from Marvel Comics. The torso. LEGO does have a Flynn Rider minifigure, but it's locked behind the walls of the $400 Disney castle, and we don't like buying expensive stuff around here. So instead of buying said Disney castle, the Elf Bard's torso is a good option for a Flynn Rider minifigure. And then the torso could also be used for Tom Bombadil from The Lord of the Rings. The Halfling Druid. The hood piece with the antlers, I feel like it could be used for the Lich from Adventure Time. If you want to be a little less purist, you could always whip out a pair of scissors and cut off one of those antlers. The head, I was thinking you could possibly use this print for Fezzik from The Princess Bride. I know that Noah originally proposed using Wolverine's head back in the Marvel Series 2 video, but I do think this head works just a little bit better. You could also use this head print for Moonboy from Marvel Comics, or Monitor from DC Comics.
So I, as many others, plan on using the masculine Halfling Druid head for Wolverine. And another idea that I had was Samson from All-Star Superman.
And then the feminine head side, maybe Big Barda from DC Comics, or even biblical characters. Noah?
Our dearly departed Noah had Twilight Princess Link for the torso.
That Noah and his video games.
For the Dwarf Barbarian, Noah has Viola Davis from The Woman King for the head, Solomon Grundy and Scarecrow for the arms, and of course, Astrid for the torso. While not entirely accurate, the torso is giving Simon Belmont from Castlevania.
In the mobile game Clash of Clans, once a Hog Rider reaches level 5, his mohawk turns orange, but his beard stays black. And I was never really a fan of that, so I feel like you could use this head for a more cohesive Hog Rider. The axe, it could be used for anything, really, but a specific character that I have in mind is Grumpy from The Lord of the Beans.
Yeah, I have my axe. Not that it'll do any good.
I guess it could actually be used for the Valkyrie from Clash of Clans too. So, for the Gith Warlock, let's start off with the head. For the female side, the Seventh Sister from Star Wars, or you could use either of the faces for the Miri Allen species, also from Star Wars. And then for the torso and legs, the Sorcerer Supreme. The eyepiece could be used for giant brick-built characters, and also for the Batman Beyond version of Spellbinder.
So for the Gith Warlock, Noah had the ideas of Orb from Marvel Comics for the eyeball, and Mysterio for the torso.
Mysterio!
Yeah, no, he said Mysterio for the torso.
The Tiefling Warrior.
For the hair, I plan on using it for Hellboy in his Unrama form. The head can definitely be used for the Thing, and Noah had Lady Thing for the female version of this head.
In the customization ideas video for CMF26, you suggested using the Space Heroine's helmet for Mongal from the Suicide Squad, and that proposal was absolutely brilliant, so I'm going to continue designing that figure and use the female head of the Tiefling Warrior for Mongal. And And then I guess it makes sense to use the male head for Mongol, also from DC Comics. Another orange character from DC that I plan on making with this head is Chameleon Boy from the Legion of Superheroes. For the torso and legs, I was kind of thinking Biddlesworth from Shrek, Kanto from DC, or also Humperdinck, once again from The Princess Bride. Now, I'm a huge fan of this little red dragon piece. It's going to be very useful for micro-mocks, including a Hobbit one, Shrek, also the Fire Temple from Ninjago. Another idea for the dragon piece is going to be using it for a dragon from the Atari game Adventure, or also dragons from How to Train Your Dragon.
You could definitely use the Energy Blast for Gambit. The Aarakocra Ranger.
Okay, setting the scene. The year is 2003. Disney just released a film about a couple of brothers, one of which becomes a bear. To coincide with Brother Bear's release, McDonald's produced a line of toys, one of which was of the eldest brother Sitka, who becomes an eagle in the featured film. So, I'm suggesting that one could recreate that McDonald's toy with this piece.
Specifically the McDonald's toy.
Also, for the headpiece, you could use it for the Eagle Man from Jake Carlini's channel, the Eagle Mask from Masked Singer, a Legends of Chima revival, once again, valid IP on LEGO Ideas. It could also be used for the toy Eagle Franklin from Disney Pixar's Small Fry, and then finally the Eagle from Lord of the Beans.
Oh, there's a bird! Let's jump on him!
You can definitely use the molded head for Big News Morgans from One Piece.
Moving on to the wings, you could use them for Angel from Marvel, Pit from Kid Icarus, the Hawks from DC, literally anyone with feathery wings.
I plan on using the wings for specifically Earth 2 Hawkgirl and Harpy Ida from the Owl House.
My last idea for the Ranger is going to be using that torso for Connor Hawk. The Dragonborn Paladin. You could use the head for a mini golden dragon from Ninjago, a couple of lanterns from DC, one being the orange lantern Larfleeze, the other being the red lantern Scalyx, or even Charizard from Pokemon.
For the head, Noah suggested King Ghidorah. The armor could definitely be used for Laios from Dungeon Meshi, and Noah suggested Captain Boromir.
You could also use the armor piece for other Gondor soldiers as well. Versions of Doctor Doom, and also the Knight from Masked Singer. And then the torso below could be used for the Grail Knight from Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade.
You have chosen wisely.
It's funny you say that because the idea that I had for the arms and legs is King Arthur from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Tasha has that scar on her cheek, and it reminds me of Dr. Poison from the Wonder Woman movie. And then both the torso and legs can be used for Ratcatcher 2 from James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
I don't know what exactly I want to use the arms for, but I definitely want to pair them with the Dragomir Despard torso. I feel like that's going to be such a satisfying combo. For the arms, Noah suggests Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon. Next up, we have Strahd von Zarovich.
For the smiling face, I kind of want to try it out on Captain Atom from DC Comics, or a minifigure version of Darkseid. Also the vampires from The Nightmare Before Christmas. For the fang face, I'm thinking Null from Marvel Comics.
I had Andrew Bennett, aka iVampire from DC, and of course, Morbius from Marvel. It's not perfect, but if you wanted to, you could use the head for Kirk Langstrom for the Justice League Gods and Monsters movie. And for the torso, Noah suggests a medieval Captain Marvel.
And the figure as a whole could be used as an avatar from the game V Rising. For Zastan's head, I'm thinking of El Diablo or Dr. Destiny from DC Comics. You could even use this head for Persuader from the Legion of Superhero show.
Well, you've persuaded me.
That's someone at least. Or any of the characters from Coco. Ghouls from Fallout, and finally, Skeletor.
The head kind of reminds me of the mascot of Iron Maiden, Eddie.
For the trans redhead, Mr. Toxic from DC, or one could just recreate the final scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You could definitely use the collar and cape for the Cloak of Levitation. Noah suggests using the skirt piece for Palpatine.
Do it. the Lady of Pain.
You can use her helmet for Morgan Le Fay from DC, or Kotal Khan from Mortal Kombat.
This piece was made for Morgan. My ideas, on the other hand, are a little far-fetched, so use your imagination.
Imagination.
The shape of the headgear piece reminds me of the Medusa mask from Masked Singer, a pike from Star Wars, or even a Quintesson from Transformers. So, for the Mind Flayer, I'm thinking of a Flying Dutchman crew member, a horror-ish version of Pinky from Pac-Man, also Zoidberg.
For the head, Noah suggests an Ood from Doctor Who. So I have always imagined an Octopirate being purple, and so now I can finally make a purple Octopirate with his head.
Nice.